Welcome everyone. You're at the Appian 24.1 Product Announcement Webinar. My name is Malcolm Ross, Senior Vice President of Product Strategy. I'll be walking you through today's content, but we have some special announcements to start with before we get into the content. I'm really happy to have been helping you as developers of the Appian software for 12 years now, but we're looking forward to evolving the Appian 24.1 and future product announcement webinar formats to better suit your needs and give you more detailed and engaging content. With that, I'm happy to involve James Lee, who heads our Product Evangelism team, to help think about how we can best deliver this content in 2024 and into the future. James, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience here?
Thanks, Malcolm. Excited to be here and excited to be collaborating with you on this product release. So let me talk a little bit about myself. I've been at Appian for just about 5 years. I joined into our cloud support team, so got to learn a lot about our platform and cloud architecture. I then moved over into our marketing group to help drive community programs and grow our developer community. So to the developers on the call, really thankful to have you here as well. And as Malcolm mentioned, I've recently headed up the newly formed Product Evangelism team here at Appian, really focusing on how people experience the Appian product and market, whether it's presentations like this, our keynotes at our conference event, even the very popular live build challenge that April Schupel on my team helps support at our different regional events. So overall, really excited to be here and really excited to be collaborating on some of these latest and greatest innovations coming out of the Appian product.
Now, today, of course, we're going to be doing a traditional webinar format where we go through the topics, go through all the feature details, and James, along with our product management team, are going to help facilitate that. But we also want your feedback. So if you check out that link that we're going to push through Big Marker right now, it's going to link to a survey that we really appreciate your feedback on how we can better evolve this. We have better ideas to maybe think about a consolidated web experience that gives you all this information in one place, activating more YouTube live streams and other types of formats that might be more engaging to connect with other developers and, of course, our product managers to go more deeply and understand the Appian product set. We so appreciate you taking the time to fill out the survey. Really look forward to your feedback. But first, of course, we're happy to announce that Appian World is going to be once again scheduled for the spring of 2024. So mark that calendar on April 15th to 17th. We hope to see you in the Washington, D.C. this year at the National Harbor venue. To learn more, check out appianworld.com or follow that Big Marker link that we're going to pop up to you right now. And as a preview for the agenda, we have lots of great content focused on the core capabilities of the product. We're going to keep this very product-centric this year. So if you're an Appian practitioner, developer, you don't want to miss out those sessions on generative AI applications in your solution, around the latest capabilities of Appian Data Fabric, and of course the larger automation capabilities of the entire platform as well. So really look forward to seeing you there. Check out the agenda there also at appianworld.com. But for you specifically, we are going to be running the Appian Developer Day again. So this is going to be the pre-conference day on April 15th. And again, this is going to be jam-packed with more interactive sessions for developers who want to go deep in exploring the Appian product. And of course, we have lots of great activities. James, also, what do you have planned for Appian Developer Day?
Yeah, Malcolm, we have a great program coming for Developer Day, but one highlight that I think we'll get to at the end of this webinar with April Schupel is going to be our live build challenge event. So developers, you're going to get a lot out of attending the conferences here just like every year. So they make sure to stay tuned for that portion at the end.
Yeah, we don't want to miss the live build challenge. And of course, April Schupel, as he said, is going to cover all the details about how to register and participate in that live build challenge. We have actually, I think, a special teams approach this year, which is going to allow even more people to get up on stage and show their chops, right?
Exactly. Everyone loves a good tournament ladder match, so we're looking forward to the presentation this year for sure.
Yeah, looking forward to see who rises to the challenge.
Awesome. And to continue on the developer focus for Appian World, we're really excited to bring back the free certifications exams at Appian World this year. This is something we did last year that was very popular. It's a $200 exam typically, so this is a great justification for your bosses and managers to send you to Appian World and get hands-on with all this great content. So if you are interested in registering, registration opens at the end of February, so be sure to look out for that information and register your interest to do your certification at Appian World this year.
Yeah, that was a huge success at the San Diego event we had last year. I think we had hundreds of people online or in person taking those free certification exams. And he said, these exams, you definitely need to study before you come in. You want to pass it. But as well, those are proctored exams, which do have that $200 cost. So this is, again, as you mentioned, James, a great benefit to go to your manager and say, I really need to be at Appian World because it's included in the cost of the ticket to the Appian World event to take that certification exam. So I hope to see you there.
Couldn't agree more, Malcolm. All right, now getting into the release content for today, Appian 24.1 will be releasing next Friday, March 1st. And again, you can expect a quarterly release cadence from Appian, with the other releases this year coming in May, August, and November. So as we just mentioned, Appian 24.1 will be releasing March 1st, which is next Friday. At that point, you can then schedule your cloud environments for upgrades to the latest version of Appian, or for our self-managed customers, you can find a installer download available within Appian Forum. Now to kick things off, let's go over some of our new low-code design capabilities. Firstly, you can now add descriptions to rule inputs whenever you use the Save Selected Expression As option in the expression editor. Rule input descriptions help streamline your development process by giving fellow developers valuable context where they need it. Now, continuing from there, I'm excited to invite Rachel Rader, Senior Manager of Product Management, to share a bit more about some of the innovations we've been making to our case management capabilities. Rachel, over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Rader and I'm here to talk about case management. To help customers develop case management solutions quickly, Appian has created Case Management Studio, a suite of applications and supporting objects that have been pre-built and configured to allow rapid development of customized case management solutions. Here we can see the first part of Case Management Studio called Workspace. Workspace is a site that empowers caseworkers and managers to make informed decisions with confidence by providing everything they need to quickly and efficiently resolve cases. Caseworkers and managers have case records, workflow visualization, dynamic tasks, and document management right at their fingertips. And, with included email notifications, tracking, reporting, and auditing, your team has total visibility into each case's status and progress. Workspace also includes a public portal module for case management use cases that include unauthenticated users. Next, let's move on to Studio, a site where business users can configure the functionality available in Workspace. In Studio, you start by organizing case types into categories according to your business needs. This hierarchy is automatically available when caseworkers open new cases in Workspace, or when end users open new cases from the public portal. Let's take a look at the Workplace Safety case type in the Incident category. Here, you can build out your data fabric by adding fields that are unique to the case type, shared by all case types in the category, or common to all case types in the system. Each new case type in the category or in the system will have those common fields already included, which saves time and enables robust reporting on those shared fields. Customize case workflows with configurable tasks, which can be created, edited, rearranged, and reused across workflows. Once you've created a task, you can optionally add it to a task block. Task blocks allow you to create flexible, reusable paths that can also be reused across workflows, so you don't have to reconfigure the same series of tasks over and over. To make it easy for caseworkers to see how far along a case is, you can organize a case type's tasks into milestones. While building out a case type's workflow, you can branch into multiple parallel tasks and bring multiple flows back together into a single task, a task block, or a milestone according to your business needs. One of the most important parts of a workflow is the intake form that people use to open a new case. You can design this form directly in Studio using a sleek and simplified version of Appian's classic drag and drop. The form preview shows the actual step-by-step wizard that users will see when they use this form in Workspace. The editing experience makes it easy to see all the wizard pages at once, so you can move components around or even rearrange pages as needed. Forms built in Studio are real Appian interfaces, so if you need even more customizations, you can always edit the forms in Designer. Finish configuring a case type by choosing which fields will appear on the case summary in Workspace. Drag and drop fields to get them in your preferred order, and the summary interface will automatically display a read-only version of that data field. This page is also where you configure the form that caseworkers use if they need to edit an in-flight case. This experience is similar to building the intake form, and if you've already built your intake form, you will be offered the choice to copy that form as a starting point for the edit form. This wraps up our segment on Case Management Studio.
Thank you, Rachel. I can't wait to see how people use these innovative case management capabilities to empower their business users. Next, I'm going to pass it over to Kevin Froimson, Senior Product Manager at Appian, to go over some of our latest total experience capabilities. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks, James. I'm excited to be back today to talk about some of the great enhancements we've made to our total experience offering. This release, we've made it easier than ever to build modern and insightful applications that engage your users, no matter the locale or device. I'm really excited about all of the enhancements we have this quarter. So without further ado, let's take a look at what you can look forward to this release. Last release, we delivered a new sidebar layout for sites to help you create modern-looking UIs with sleek navigation options for your users. This release, we've added the same sidebar layout to portals, providing you with more flexible design options for your portal styling and navigation. We've also enhanced the sidebar layout for both sites and portals. The sidebar is now collapsible, allowing your end users to spotlight page contents when they don't need navigational context. And best of all, no additional configurations are necessary. On upgrade, collapsibility will automatically be enabled on all sites and portals that have a sidebar configured. Additionally, this release we're expanding what's possible in your portals by allowing you to leverage some of the most popular component plugins. Starting this release, the Rich Text Editor, Google Maps, and ESRI ArcGIS Map components can be used in portals. These plugins bring modern functionality to your portals and allow you to create richer user experiences. This release, ABank Query Record by Identifier, is now fully compatible with portals. This allows you to query both unsynced and synced record types in a portal so that you have the records you need wherever you need them. Not only that, you'll notice faster queries to your records when you use ABank Query Record by Identifier across all of your applications. It's also now easier than ever to create service accounts directly from your portal object. Now, when creating a service account within the portal object, you can directly select groups to add the account to. This streamlined workflow eliminates the need to navigate away from the portal object, reducing the time and effort involved in assigning groups during portal design. As part of our ongoing efforts to streamline portal development, we're introducing new design guidance for portal interfaces and rules. When you're developing a rule or interface that's used in a portal, the new design guidance tells you if you're using functions and components that aren't supported in portals. This results in a smoother experience when creating portals, speeding up the development of your application. We've also made it easier to monitor your portals. No more sifting through log files to understand why users are seeing errors in your portal. Just click an error count in the Portal Monitoring tab to view the error details for each portal and help you know exactly where to look when troubleshooting. This enhancement to the Portal Monitoring tab makes it easier than ever to create and maintain portals that are responsive, reliable, and available to all of your users. I'm now going to show this in action. I'm starting this demo on the monitoring page in Appian Designer. On the monitoring page, there's a section for portal monitoring. This gives me a quick glance into the status of all my portals, including how much traffic each portal is seeing, their performance, and whether users are seeing errors. New on this page, I can click the error count to view all of the errors that users have run into when using the portal, allowing you to quickly find and resolve issues before more users run into them. I also want to highlight that from the same dashboard, you can also easily monitor portals on all other connected environments. You can see here I can select another environment. In this case, I select a test environment. Once I select my environment, my grid is updated with all of my portals in the test environment, and I can quickly see all of the errors that happened there, making them easier to solve. I'm also very excited to announce that FedRAMP compliant portals are now available to our GovCloud customers. FedRAMP certification is the gold standard of security and risk assessment for cloud technologies and federal agencies. Achieving FedRAMP certification makes Appian portals a trusted choice for federal agencies. We'll be rolling this out to our existing FedRAMP customers over the next few months. If you would like to be one of the first to enable FedRAMP compliant portals in your environment, reach out to Appian support today. We're also continuing to improve your site's user experiences. In particular, we're bringing you more control when linking to records. This release, we've evolved ABang URL for record with two new parameters, target location and view. These parameters allow you to specify a specific record view and site page to open the record link in. And don't worry, we've brought the same changes to ABang record link and ABang user record link, ensuring that your users will have an intuitive and seamless navigation experience, whether navigating from an external link or internal link. We've also made a couple of updates to the site navigation bar to improve your end user experience. We've restyled the user and navigator menu to give your sites a more modern look. We've also updated the default profile photo in Latin language locales to show you the user's initials instead of the generic profile icon when the user has not uploaded an image. And don't worry, you won't have to configure a thing. These updates are automatically applied when you upgrade. In addition to these enhancements to sites and portals, we've also added several new interface and component enhancements. We're adding a new layout component, the pane layout. The pane layout allows you to seamlessly present complex information, giving you up to 3 independently scrollable areas to display both content and context. This flexibility lets users spend less time navigating between separate interfaces to get the data they need, and empowers them to complete their work more naturally. We're also introducing the new KPI component that allows you to display existing record data, including changes, in a meaningful, easily digestible way. And the best part, there's a range of KPI templates to choose from, so that you can customize it to fit your needs. In 23.3, Appian introduced the horizontal line component, which lets you create organized and appealing interfaces that easily orient your users. Now, we're giving you more control over the look and feel of those horizontal lines. Style these lines as dots, dashes, or solid to boost the beauty and usability of your interfaces. You can now edit instructions directly in the live view of an interface in design mode, just like you can with field labels. Simply click into existing instructions and edit the text. It's as easy as that. We've also added many new features that will make it easier than ever to build multilingual experiences for your end users. This release, you can easily test and preview interfaces in any Appian-supported locale while you develop, right from the interface designer. Now, there's no need to switch your user locale setting. Just click the dropdown and select a locale to preview your interface in. This release, we're also making translation strings more powerful. You can now embed dynamic values like usernames, dates, and times into static translation strings, providing your users with more information and higher quality translations. This powerful enhancement opens up a wide range of design possibilities for your multilingual interfaces. Maintaining your translation sets is now easier than ever with a new filter to help you identify duplicate translation strings. Within a translation set, you can filter for duplicates based on the primary locale to help you decide when to create new strings or use existing ones. Get insights into your translation set and streamline your use of existing translation strings fast. Additionally, translation strings now import asynchronously, so you can get back to work on your application while we update the translation set. No waiting around necessary. We've also made a few small improvements to your translation experience. You can now sort translation sets faster and easily compare translation string versions across environments. Take advantage, too, of enhanced performance when generating translation strings from an interface and our increased limit of translation strings per translation set, from 1,500 to 5,000. These improvements will save you time during development and deployment, as well as better the overall health and performance of your localized applications. Last but certainly not least, we've made several enhancements to our mobile offering this quarter. Users can now automatically recover tasks when they are closed unexpectedly, safeguarding user-entered data and minimizing the risk of data loss. When a user reopens a task that was unexpectedly closed, we will now prompt them to continue where they left off or start the task over. Users can complete offline tasks with confidence, knowing their data will be persisted. We've also added a new retry button to the pending form list that users can tap to manually retry form submissions that were unsuccessful. This improves the offline mobile experience by giving users more control, allowing them to recover unsuccessful submissions on their own. And finally, we've improved the behavior of signatures on mobile interfaces. Now, when mobile users sign their name using the signature component, Appian Mobile now displays a preview of the signature. When you use print to PDF on Appian Mobile, these signatures will now appear on the printed form as well. As you can see, it's been an exciting release for our total experience offering, and I hope you are as excited as I am about some of these new offerings. I'll now pass it over to James to kick off our next section.
Thank you, Kevin. It looks like it's going to be easier than ever to build delightful experiences for all users. Next, I'm going to pass it over to Louis Prensky, Senior Product Manager at Appian, to go over some of our latest innovations with automation. Louis, over to you.
Thanks, James. I'm thrilled to be here today to introduce all of the incredible enhancements to our automation capabilities. Starting with robotic process automation, you can now seamlessly integrate robotic tasks into your process models. A new version of the Execute Robotic Tasks Smart Service lets you configure robotic tasks directly into the process node, eliminating the need for connected systems or integration rules. This makes it so much faster and easier to use RPA in your processes. We've also made it easier to oversee and adjust your robot workforce through an enhanced robot management dashboard in the operations console. This dashboard is designed with IT operation managers and efficiency in mind, allowing you to quickly assess the health of your robots and robotic tasks and even take action as needed. For instance, you could restart or disable robots that are erroring and even reroute robotic tasks to different robots to ensure that the work gets completed on time. We're aligning Appian RPA with the latest industry security standards by automatically pre-signing all agents. To do this, we've made robot keys the default authentication mechanism for Windows, Mac, and Linux robots. Not only does this make your robot workforce more secure, but it gives you the flexibility to automate the setup of your robots and thereby scale your workforce more efficiently. The Get Table Values low-code action is now part of the task recorder, making it easier than ever to quickly extract data from HTML tables. Use the task recorder to extract the data you need from an entire table and save it directly to a robotic task variable, eliminating the need for manual entry and intricate coding. We've enhanced the document extraction AI skill to more accurately extract data from tables and checkboxes. This update improves your ability to extract structured data from a variety of document formats. For example, you'll see much better extraction accuracy for tables in scanned docs, tables with complex or multi-line rows, and hand-filled checkboxes. Please reach out to your account executive to submit an automation kickstart assessment for IDP if you are interested in gaining access to this feature. We've made it easier to continue training a document extraction AI skill. Now, you can start training a new model based on a model you've trained previously. Your new model has the same sample documents, fields, and labels you added before, saving you time. With this jumpstart, you can go on to add and remove documents, fields, and labels to train the new model. This release, we're empowering you to use generative AI anywhere in your processes through the Prompt Builder AI skill. Simply create a Prompt Builder AI skill and describe what you want the model to do. You can provide example inputs and outputs, such as a claim and a map of PII, so the model knows your requirements. Then, you can test the AI model directly within the skill to save valuable development time and feel confident the AI model performs as expected. When you're ready to start using the prompt, add the Execute Prompt Smart service to your process. Your prompt and input text are then sent to a private generative AI model. Use the AI model's outputs however you use data in your Appian processes to display information, make decisions, write to the database, and more. Now that you've heard about the power of the Prompt Builder, I'll show it in action in the context of an insurance claims automation use case. Let's dive right in. Here, we have an existing application that manages the processing of incoming claims. For this use case, we'll configure a Prompt Builder skill that will automatically extract important data points from incoming claims emails so that they can be written to a record before the claim is routed to the proper team. First, we'll configure our AI skill. We'll select the Prompt Builder as the skill type, provide a name, and configure the object security. Now, we'll configure the object. We'll start by writing our prompt, which is where we provide instructions about the task we'd like the underlying generative AI model to accomplish. We'll tell the model that its job is to extract information from incoming claims emails and return the results in JSON format. Next, we'll configure the temperature of the model, which is an indicator of how random or creative the response is likely to be. Because we just want the model to return a list of entities contained in the email, we'll choose a low value. Then, will provide an example of a previously processed claim email and the correct answer for the JSON response. Providing examples helps reinforce to the model what input you'll provide to it and what you expect in response. Now that we have configured our skill, we can easily test it directly within the designer to see how it is working on additional examples. Here, I'll paste in another claim email and click Test. We can see that, within seconds, the model responds with a list containing all of the important information in the claim in JSON format. I'm happy with how the skill is performing its task, so now it's time for me to integrate it into my claim management business process. I'll open up the relevant process model, which we can see has been configured to ingest an email, write claims data, and then wrap the claim. To call the prompt builder we just configured, we'll simply drag out the Execute Prompt Smart Service. In the Setup tab, we'll select the Prompt Builder AI skill we created in the first step. Then, we'll navigate to the Data tab. For the Smart Service input, we'll provide a process variable containing the body of the incoming claim. For the Smart Service output, we'll store the response from the model, which will contain the extracted claim data, which can then be written to the record. And that's it. Within a couple of minutes, we were able to leverage Appian's private generative AI to automate what was previously a manual and time-consuming process. I hope that this demo was helpful for you to visualize how simple it is to incorporate generative AI into your workflows. We can't wait to see what you build with these new Appian automation capabilities. If you're interested in learning more, please click the link in the pop-up to complete our generative AI interest form. Now, I'm going to turn it back over to James so you can learn more about the other great features coming to the platform with this release.
Wow, thank you, Lewis. The Prompt Builder AI skill looks ready to deliver compelling value, and I've been so excited to get hands-on with it myself. For anyone else interested, please do be sure to complete that generative AI interest survey that Lewis had shared earlier. Next, I'm going to pass it over to Lisa Graham, Senior Product Manager Level 2 here at Appian, to share about some of our latest capabilities with our data fabric. Lisa, over to you.
Thanks for the intro, James. Hello, everyone. My name is Lisa Graham. This release, we've made a diverse set of enhancements for you, demonstrating our continued commitment and investment across many areas of our data fabric. With that in mind, let's dive in. We know that as your business grows, the volume of your business data does too. But have you ever found yourself wishing you could provide more specific instruction on which attribute of your record data actually represents the change or growth of your business, so that when a sync is performed, you are always getting the records of data that you want? Well, wish no more, because we're introducing a new sync option that lets you target which records should be synced while never exceeding the current 4 million row limit. Once you've enabled this setting, simply select a field that signifies your business change or growth, like last modified or created date. Then, whenever a full sync occurs, Appian will only sync the last 4 million rows based on that criteria, so you and your users always have access to the most recent data based on your definition. Identifying change data within your record variables just became clearer. Anytime you test an expression, interact with an interface, or examine a process instance, the changes to your record data are easy to spot. And bonus, this feature also works to highlight data that has changed as a result of the Write Record Smart Service. Speaking of making change data pop, in the Process Modeler, we've improved the look and feel of the Process History tab, so you can more easily audit updates to record data, including field-level changes. You can quickly view a formatted list of your process data at a glance, or expand the view to see the full details of any variable. With formatted process history data, you can easily read your process data, troubleshoot potential issues, and ensure the proper functioning of your automations. Before I get to our next round of updates, let's look at these last two updates in action. I'm beginning with testing out an interface by completing certain fields, and as I do so, notice the icon changing in the list on the right, making it easy for me to ensure that my data is changing when I expect it to. Similarly, if I look at the details of a process, I can see all the data that was changed as a result of the process running, including related record data. I can also see changes made as a result of the Write Record Smart Service. I can see how the IDs are returned along with all the input data, making verifying or troubleshooting your processes fast and easy. Writing data is an essential part of application development, so we've enhanced and streamlined the Write Record Smart Service experience based on your feedback. The output now preserves all of your input data so that you can keep using it in your process without requerying your record types. Just replace your existing nodes with a new Write Records node and you're ready to go. But the benefits don't stop there. You can use the Write Records Smart Service in more scenarios where the database configuration can't be modified. Specifically, any source field, not just foreign keys, can be not nullable. And now you can write to a base record type even when related record types are set to not allow writes. The Smart Service will just skip over anything that can't be written. This empowers you to build faster and provides you with more options to manage your data. Now, we may not want to admit it, but I'm sure we've all been the author of, or even the victim of, a slow query. Troubleshooting slow queries can sometimes be like a rabbit hole. It's time-consuming and sometimes unrewarding. However, this release, that is all about to change, because we are introducing a new Query Performance tab within the Monitoring section, where you can see how and where data is being queried throughout your applications. At a glance, you'll see when a record query occurred, how long it took, and the user involved, and even which interface rule or component was used to run the query. Amazing, right? With this centralized view of query details, you can more easily understand and optimize your record queries, hopefully giving you some much-needed time back, and overall speeding up the experience for your end users. Okay, let me see if I can tackle this tongue twister. Creating custom JDBC connected system objects has been simplified. Now, after your JDBC driver is successfully deployed, a system-specific JDBC connected system template appears in the Created Connected System Picklist dialog. Nailed it! This allows you to quickly locate and connect to your desired source system with fewer clicks. We're also excited to add 2 new supported databases, PostgreSQL 15 and SQL Server 2022. These databases are supported as both Appian data sources and business data sources. Additionally, the default JDBC driver for PostgreSQL has been upgraded from version 42.4 to 42.7. As always, Appian continues to find new ways to keep your data fabric fresh and up to date. Next up is SelfService Analytics. SelfService Analytics exposes the power of your carefully woven data fabric with end users so they too can craft impactful views of data to drive better decisions. Let's start with a new feature within the Record Type Designer that gives you more control over which record types are available to use in SelfService Analytics. From within any record type, select the Workspaces menu item on the left. Now, if you've been with Appian prior to this release, this menu option used to be called Tempo, one of our other end-user workspaces. Under the new SelfService Analytics section, you can specify if a record type should or should not be available in SelfService Analytics. To help you get started, by default, any record type already available in Tempo will also be available in SelfService Analytics, while any new record type that you create will default to not show in SelfService Analytics, so that you can decide if and when it makes sense for users to have this record type for reporting purposes. Lastly, if you select a record type to be shown in SelfService Analytics, it will show as a dataset in the data catalog, as well as any related record type within other datasets. Again, as a reminder, all record types in SelfService Analytics automatically enforce your record type security and record level security, ensuring that users are accessing only the data permissioned to them. With this extra layer of security, you can be confident that your data is always secure, no matter where it's viewed. Now let's take a look at some new features within SelfService Analytics. When it comes to building reports, end users want flexibility and control to define what they need when they need it. In our preview release, end users got a taste for how to leverage chart designs using 1 or 2 fields. Now users can layer in more fields into their bar, column, area, and line charts to show more complex views of their data. In addition, we've added several more configuration options. Users can select how they want their data to stack up or in the case of a pie chart, what style they prefer. Users can also customize the color scheme of their reports to complement their company's branding or presentation theme. Charts can be paired with the grid of data below it to allow for more interactive configuration changes, or to give users greater visibility into the report data. Users can also choose to give report viewers the ability to download the chart image or export the unaggregated grid of data. Once they finish building out their report, users can name their report, add an optional description, and save the report for future exploration. Creators can easily switch to view mode to see what their report will look like to other users viewing their report. All saved reports are easily accessible from a new report library page that highlights recently opened reports, as well as reports that you've created or that have been shared with you. From the library, users can open reports in a new tab, duplicate reports, and most importantly, share your reports with other users, allowing you to spread the value of the report you created. Well, that's all for me this time around. I hope you enjoyed learning about all the new Data Fabric features. Back to you, James.
Thank you, Lisa. I was so excited to see SelfService Analytics unveiled in our 23.4 release, and it looks like it's only gotten better. I can't wait for users to get hands-on with it. Next, I'm going to hand it over to Elizabeth Hall, Senior Beta Program Manager at Appian, to talk through some of the latest updates on our beta programs. Liz, over to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Hall and I'm Appian's Senior Beta Program Manager. I'll be giving a quick update on our in-progress beta programs. Back in July, we launched a beta program for a new, intuitive, intelligent, and collaborative process mining experience. Since then, over 30 customers and partners across several industry verticals have used Process HQ to uncover process bottlenecks and discover valuable insights. Beta program participants have uncovered a combined total of over 700,000 days of cycle time delays, enabling them to make data-driven decisions and improve their Appian processes. Process HQ leverages Data Fabric and record events. We encourage you to use these platform capabilities when developing applications so that you can easily mine process insights once Process HQ is generally available. If you would like to learn more about Process HQ, you can click the button on the screen and we'll reach out with more information in the coming weeks. Additionally, we're working on a new process execution engine that provides elastic scalability for unattended processes. This means the engine can seamlessly accommodate varying workloads and spikes in demand without compromising performance or requiring downtime. Our beta program began earlier this month, which allows select customers and partners the opportunity to use and provide feedback on this new architecture. If you have a specific use case in mind that involves the execution of unattended automation process models at a high volume, we'd love to hear from you. You can click the link to the form in the pop-up to provide details about your use case. The product team will reach out to you if your use case is a good fit for the beta program. Now back to you, James.
Thank you, Liz, for the updates. Attendees of the webinar, please be sure to use the interest form shared to register your interest for these beta programs. Continuing on from there, let's go over some of the latest enterprise-grade capabilities in this release. Starting things off, this release you can now use Azure Active Directory password and service principal authentication methods for connecting to SQL Server. Simply add an authentication connection property to your connection URL and specify your preferred method. Appian has also made it easier to deploy plugins. Appian Cloud and self-managed customers can now upload and deploy plugins directly from the admin console, removing the need to copy the jar file to the Appian file system. Appian Cloud customers are still required to receive approval for private plugins according to the cloud deployment guidelines before uploading. Appian's native authentication just got an added layer of security as well. You can now enable multi-factor authentication, which will email users a verification code to complete the login process after they've entered their usernames and passwords. With 24.1, we're also introducing the ability to call Appian Web APIs using access tokens issued by third-party OAuth providers. Each OAuth 2.0 client that you configure in the admin console is tied to a service account, making this feature ideal for use with the client credentials grant. This new method allows you to manage your credentials in a centralized location, giving you more control over how your web APIs are authenticated. We're also excited to introduce a new design object log that allows you to quickly monitor changes to your objects from one place. The design objects CSV log is supported by Appian Cloud log streaming as well, so you can see who made changes to your design objects and when in real time. To improve overall database health and performance, the Appian Cloud database will now require a primary key on any MariaDB tables created in new sites. We're working behind the scenes and continuing our mission to provide you with the most reliable and performant cloud database to your applications. We will also be upgrading all MariaDB databases to version 10.6.16. In another update, the International Components for Unicode, or ICU library, has been upgraded to the latest version 74.1. This update will allow you to stay current on localization changes, such as time zones, date formats, currency changes, and others. And lastly, Zurich and UAE will be new Appian Cloud regions supporting high availability at the end of March. With these new regions, Appian will cover 24 regions globally with 72 availability zones. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to April Schupel, Senior Product Evangelist, to go over some updates about community. April, over to you.
Thank you, James. April Schupel here, your #1 developer advocate. I have a lot that I want to cover today, so let's jump right into it. Starting with something special we've been working on for you. We're excited to unveil a new Appian Community Edition experience. Appian Community Edition is the premier way for members of our community to get hands-on with the Appian platform. All community members are welcome to join our beta. SSO with Appian Community means that registration is a breeze. If you needed any more incentive to register, the beta is running on Appian 24.1 EA, so come get hands-on with so many of the amazing new features you learned about in the webinar today. Check it out and let us know what you think. Next up, I'd like to recognize our top community discussion leaders. You have questions, and these folks have answers. I'd like to give a big thank you to Stefan, Mike, Matthew, Sanchit, Harshit, Abhay, Kondaru, Pete, Stuart, and Dave for helping to make sure the thousands of questions that were asked by developers in 2023 were answered. They are a big part in our outstanding 95+% response rate on Appian community discussion questions. Now, there's many ways that Appian developers contribute to this community, and that includes helping us learn more about you with surveys. Thanks to everyone who took the time to complete the 2023 Developer Sentiment Survey. Did you know that 90% of developers feel that becoming proficient in Appian has positively impacted their job prospects? 90% of developers enjoy working with the Appian platform, and 85% of developers say that Appian's comprehensive training options were instrumental to their success. The complete results are available on Community. Share them on social to help inspire more people to build great careers as Appian developers. Switching gears, let's talk about some app market highlights. 2023 was a huge year, both in terms of overall app market growth and app market engagement. We've increased our number of total listings by 71.5%. Regularly checking the app market is sure to spark your creativity and help you in your projects. And in the year of Gen AI, we've added 20+ plugins and utilities, and that number continues to grow. Whether you want to leverage OpenAI, Claude, or Cohere in your Appian applications, or take advantage of Gen AI tools for data generation, document summarization, email generation, entity extraction, or another use case, well, we've probably got something for you. And while the app market has a ton to offer, don't forget about Appian's out-of-the-box AI capabilities that you've heard about in the webinar today. The product announcement webinar is a great place for a high-level overview of what's new. If you're looking to get more in-depth, we provide training content in a variety of forms. We're excited to announce a new learning path that introduces the features of Case Management Studio, describes its modular design approach, and provides tips on how to leverage this capability for your own use case. Every quarter, we update our online training content to help you dig deeper into features covered in our release webinars. As a reminder, completing the release showcase helps you stay up to date with the latest features and maintain that Appian certification. Along with Academy Online courses, we offer a lot of great content on the Appian Community YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is democratizing learning for practitioners, and it's growing exponentially. We had a substantial increase in subscribers, almost 250,000 views in 2023, and over 100 diverse pieces of content, ranging from quick tutorials to live stream discussions to live build challenge watch parties. We have even more planned for you in 2024, so make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Our next live stream will be a hands-on walkthrough of some of the 24.1 release highlights. I'll be joined by Appian Product Manager Pete Lewis and Mastodon Technologies Principal Consultant Nicole Walter. Pete will share insights on product strategy, while Nicole will give us a lead developer's perspective on the impact of adopting new features. Tune in to see Appian 24.1 in action and ask the experts your questions. We've had the opportunity to introduce you to a lot of experts through our community live streams. I just wanted to take a second to give them a big thank you for all the folks on this slide who've joined at least one of the live streams that we had in 2023. We've had Appian experts across product management, solutions consulting, customer success, product evangelism, and product and technology strategy. We've also had some special external guests, Stefan, Mike, Matt, and Dan. We look forward to bringing you more live streams that give you a chance to learn from experts, hear diverse perspectives, and connect with the community while asking questions in real time. Live streams provide a great virtual way to connect with other Appian developers. But there is nothing quite like getting together in person. Appian is turning 25 this year, and with it, we're bringing you the biggest and best Appian World yet. Here are some of the amazing community-focused experiences we have in store for you. We're kicking off the conference with a full-day experience that's built just for Appian developers. Dev Day registration will open up on February 27th, and it's free with your Appian World 2024 registration. This experience will include a developer-centric keynote, hands-on labs, presentations from your peers, and unique opportunities to get certified and provide feedback. Along with our expanded Dev Day, we're bringing back our Community Hub. The Community Hub will be open throughout the conference on Tuesday and Wednesday. It's a drop-by practitioner lounge with staffed booths for you to engage with live product and solution demos, community and learning resources, and your fellow Appian enthusiast. Last year, we really leaned into the arcade theme with neon signs and classic arcade games like NBA Jam and Miss Pac-Man. I don't want to spoil what we have in store for you this year, but I promise you won't want to miss it. And last but not least, every year, the Live Build Challenge has grown bigger and better, and this year is no exception. We're bringing a new format which will allow for more developers to participate while building more robust apps with all of our product capabilities. Teams will earn points throughout the conference through mini challenges, and these mini challenges will be building out the foundation of their applications. The two teams who earn the most points during the mini challenges will then face off on stage, building on their work. Along with Eternal Glory, the winning team will take home a $30,000 cash prize. I cannot wait to show you what we have in store. All right, I think it's time I wrap up. I just have one more slide here. I know it can be hard to keep up with everything we're bringing you each quarter, which is why we are creating a one-stop shop to enable you on the latest releases. Prior to this quarter, you could use Community to register for the release webinar and then view the recording after. But we've given this space a big upgrade. It's now a one-stop shop for practitioner enablement with feature highlights, release-focused community YouTube channel content like our upcoming Appian 24.1 release highlights livestream, resources like release notes, release showcase training needed to maintain your certification, summarized Q&A from these live streams, and a PDF version of the product announcement webinar deck. Additionally, we've provided a space to ask questions about this release. Remember, you can access the product announcement webinars from the community homepage. Let us know through the webinar survey what you think of the new enablement area and any ideas you have to make it better. All right. Back to you, James, to close us out.
Thanks, April. Thank you to all of you for attending the 24.1 Appian Product Announcement webinar. We're really excited to see you all at our Appian World conference later in April of this year, including the Developer Day conference you've heard so much about. And for everyone else, you can also tune in again for our next product announcement webinar, which you can expect in mid-May of this year for our 24.2 product release. Thank you all. Really appreciate your time.